2006. I'm the Vice President for University Advancement. Let me be the first to welcome you to the Deborah, Lynn, Solyan Golf Performance Center. Affectionately known as the Deb, right? So why are we here today? Why are all of us here today? A couple reasons. Namely, we want to celebrate the incredible legacy of your friend, Deb. I didn't know her personally, but as I told Julie, I sure feel like I did. The stories that I've heard from many of you about the laughter, about the way she galvanized you, about the way she loved you and cared about you, I think today represents the incredible culmination of her legacy that will extend for decades to come. And when we're done today, we're going to unveil a very special plaque that will live outside this facility and remember Deb forever. We're also here to open the new home of Blue Streaks Golf. And I would argue, and maybe Jeff can concur, that this might just be the best damn golf facility in D3. So why did we do this? Why are we here? If you haven't been on campus in a while and you came today, you might notice we have a brand new field house just down the hall. 125,000 square foot athletic wellness and event center for all of our students and our varsity sports. We have a completely renovated Griselli Library and Breen Learning Center. We have brand new nursing labs. You might have walked through the renovated DJ Lombardo Student Center. Everything we're doing is to create a destination campus at John Carroll, right? How are we going to convince 17-year-olds to drive past or fly over hundreds of other schools to choose us, just like many of you, especially from Chicago, did a few decades ago. I'm going to offer a couple acknowledgments, and then there's some important people that you should hear from other than me. But first and foremost, I want to welcome Deb and Julie's families, who are several of them seated here. And in particular, I want to welcome Deb's mom, Dot, and Julie's mom, Shirley. And Dot, as I mentioned, I didn't know Deb, but you did a hell of a job. You really did.
She was a great golfer, too.
You were? A great golfer? What's your handicap? +2, she said. +2, not bad. I also want to welcome several members of our leadership team. Our president is here. I can't see him. He's in the gallery. There's Al Mikiak, who's retiring in May, so give it up for Al. He's done an incredible job. We've got a number of our board members here, as well as our VP for Athletics and National Engagement, Brian Polian, from the class of '97. You know, a facility like this isn't built without the facilities team, so to Jeremiah Swatell and his entire JCU facilities team, as well as the folks from Krill Construction, who built this, and our friend and golf alum, Paul Vojnovich, and his company at Vocon, who helped us design this. So thank you to all of you. We also have all the members of the golf coaching staffs here today. If you're here, Missy right here, and Jeff, and your assistants are here in the room. Obviously, the vision for a facility like this is, sort of anchored in what coaches think it will do for the program. So we're thrilled to have them. And maybe more importantly, we're thrilled to have the men's and women's Blue Streak golf teams here. If you're a student athlete, raise your hand. Welcome. This facility is for you. Of course, I would be remiss not to acknowledge the many friends of Deb in the room, several of whom are wearing their Southside Irish jackets. So if you were a friend of Deb from the class of '83, from her golf league, from, as Julie and Jane have told me, the 100 other things she was involved in, thank you so much for being here, and welcome back to John Carroll. And, they made the fundraising guy MC this, right? So I think it's pretty important that we acknowledge the donors. So, more than 81 individuals have contributed to this facility to make it possible. A couple of them deserve some special thanks. So to Mike and Christina Coyne out in Arizona, who are not here today, and to Sheila and Joe Bettendorf and their families for supporting these beautiful TrackMan bays behind me. Thank you very much. to Sean Devins and his family, who I just met, for supporting what is becoming a beautiful players' lounge on the loft. If you haven't seen it, you can take a peek at it when we're done. We got a few folks who got the cheap seats up there. Yep. So that loft is quickly going to become a gathering spot for both of our golf teams. A place to have community, to study, to hang out, maybe watch their swings on video, or whatever they might want to use it for. But I think it's important to point out that the philanthropic support we received for this facility has completely paid for the facility, and it gives us the first ever home for Blue Streak Golf on campus. So these, and I know we have a lot of John Carroll Golf alumni in the room, so many of whom contributed to the putting green that hopefully still works when we're done with 125 people on it, the chipping area, and these beautiful lockers where our student athletes can now store their gear. So thank you to all the John Carroll Golf alumni here. And finally, a really special thanks, and I don't know where he is, but I want to acknowledge Coach Mike Moran. Coach, where are you? He's in the back, okay? So Coach Moran, a longtime leader of the men's golf program here. When we launched this project and knew we needed to raise the money to do it, Jeff and Coach Moran got together and they started working the phones. And they couldn't have done it without my man Bob Heller over here, who is America's guest. You've probably already met him. If you haven't, he's going to talk to you after. But that crew really helped support what you see today. So Bob is on my team. I want to say thanks. Coach Moran, we've all got a great story about Coach, but we don't have that long today, right, Coach? We'll find time. Okay. So you've heard enough from me. Students are at the center of everything we do. And an event like this probably isn't complete without hearing the student perspective. And so I want to welcome a member of the men's golf team, Andrew Schwartz, a senior finance major, to maybe provide the student perspective for us on what this facility means. So welcome, Andrew.
Thank you, Mike. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Schwartz. I'm a senior, and it's been a privilege to be a member of the golf team these past 4 years. But before I continue, I would like to say thank you to everyone that could be here, everyone that donated, all the alumni, past players, faculty and staff, and the workers that helped put this facility together. So let's clap it up one more time. Words cannot express the gratitude that our teams have that this project is finally complete. I remember on my recruiting visit here at the talk of this project, I was told sophomore year, senior year, but hey, one semester's better than none. This is really going to take the program to the next level. Even these past 4 years, the program has gotten better every year, which has forced everyone to level up their game every offseason. As you can see, this past week, Northern Ohio makes it really hard this time of year to get outside and practice and stay competitive. Before this facility was completed, we were the only team that didn't have a facility on campus, and now I can say that we probably have the best facility on campus. Not only on campus, but also in the NCAC. Moving conferences this past year, I can confidently say that we will make some noise and let everyone know that we've arrived with this facility. So, thank you, and I'm going to hand it back to Matt.
Great job, Andrew. Next up, I'd like to welcome someone who's become a dear friend of mine, and who I know was a dear friend of Deb, and also a dear friend of many in the legendary class of 1983, which I've learned a lot about in the last few years. She's a board member, she's a Southsider, Jane Lambesis. Would you come up? She may not be a Southsider, but she wears the jacket.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, Andrew, you did such a nice job of thanking everyone, so I will not duplicate that, but awesome job. So my name's Jane Lambesis, class of 1983, that we have quite a reputation that I'm quite proud of, actually. But as a member of the board of directors, I'd like to just echo Mike's comments, Andrew's comments earlier about the progress here at John Carroll, just made in the last few years. Enrollment growth, our destination campus, to the investment we've now made in our curriculum, our academic portfolio, nursing, exercise science, just to name a very few. And the enhancements, it's absolutely leading to all this momentum, and we're thrilled. I was listening to the plans a few years ago when the JCU team had this vision, presented this vision of this golf performance center. And I knew right then, and I knew right there, that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to give back and to invest in friendship and the future of our great students right here at John Carroll. See, Deb Solyan, our dear friend, is the epitome of giving back and of outstanding friendship. Deb's expansive love, her brilliant sense of humor, and her infectious laugh, which, by the way, you would typically hear before you ever saw Deb. Well, Deb could build a bridge of friendship and laughter like no other, like within minutes. An amazing talent built on just an outstanding attitude of happiness and joy. An important story about the Southside Irish green jacket. While we were all freshmen on campus, finding our way, there was this group of fun, outgoing girls who had also arrived from the south side of Chicago, wearing these rather bright green jackets. Deb from Pittsburgh, me from the north side of Chicago, thought, kind of bold. But it was only just a matter of days before we found ourselves entangled in their fun, and 4 years later, a high level of fun. All good, but maybe one or two run-ins or misunderstandings around maybe some of our behavior in those green jackets. Fast forward 30 years. So for our 50th birthday, all of us received our very own green jackets so that we could continue on and have many, many more years of lots of laughter and a lot of shenanigans. So here we are today. We gift you students with Deb's green jacket so that this space will be filled with laughter and friendship. Please build friendships, build bridges in this space. Pay it forward. May you share your talents, your golf talents, and your many talents with someone less fortunate. Maybe someone who is in need of friendship and someone who is in need of laughter and love. Many thanks are in order, but I have to thank my husband, Peter, who's amazingly supportive husband and tolerates me and the green jackets, by the way, of some of my crazier ideas. So to Peter, thank you very much. To John Carroll, for the foundation to go out, work hard, help others, and find happiness and joy and a lot of laughter along the way. I have the honor of introducing Julie, Deb's Julie, as we call her, to come up and say a few words. Julie, I also want to thank you for sharing Deb with all of us. In her life, she brought us so much happiness and so much joy, and we're here today to continue that celebration. So, Julie, if you would say a few words.
Okay, all right. For those of you who went to John Carroll and you took Speech 101, you learned about index cards. So, I have my index cards. Okay, looks like Deb is getting another party. So, here we are. I do want to let you know that our family is here. You've met Dot and my mom, Shirley. Also, Deb's sister, Linda, is here. Her brother Steve, there he is. Our brother-in-law, Bob, and our niece, Ashley, are here as well. So, welcome them. Okay, I know there have been a lot of thank yous, and so some of this is redundant. Deal with it. I want to thank John Carroll, the athletic department, the golf teams, the coaches, Jeff and Missy. There's Jeff, Missy. Thank you guys for what you came up with, what you've made. And most importantly to me, I would like, that's not to discount everything I just said, but most importantly to me, I want to thank Team The Deb, and that includes Mike and Bob and Holly, who is here somewhere. Okay, she's here somewhere. And especially, I can't believe Mike stole my legendary class of 1983, and especially Jane, whose vision, leadership, and her love for Deborah is what made it so that her name is on this amazing facility. So thank you all. This is such a, and many of you have said this to me before and today, and it's so true. This is just a perfect honor for Deb. She loved golf. I don't really understand it all, but it was her thing. She loved it. And even more so, she loved John Carroll. And everybody in this room knows that. She loved John Carroll. And unfortunately, it wasn't because of the knowledge she gained. It was kind of shaky, right, Dot, whether she was going to graduate or not. She did, a little late, but she graduated. But what John Carroll meant to her were the lasting, lifelong friendships that she made. She came back here often. She was at homecoming. She was at reunions. She came to reunions that weren't her reunions. It was crazy. So I never knew anyone who did that much reunioning, but she did. And like I said, the friends she made were lifelong friends. If you're holding champagne, I want you to be careful. But is there anyone in this room who has ever received a personalized card from Deb? Please raise your hand. And so this is just a drop in the bucket of the people she's touched. If she knew you, you would always get a birthday card. Your spouse or partner would get a birthday card. Your children would get birthday cards.
Your children's children.
Right? If you were lucky enough to have grandchildren, they got birthday cards. Additionally, she never turned down an invitation. The only time she turned down an invitation is if she had already agreed to another invitation. So she has been to more weddings, birthdays, graduations. You invite her, she's there. Most of the time you didn't see me there, but she was always there. Got that. Okay. So when she would go to these events, or just any event, often she would say, "Oh my gosh, this was the best day ever." And early on in our relationship, I realized that she had more than just one best day ever. In fact, she had hundreds. It was crazy. I just started to accept that she doesn't understand that best means one. And so, you just roll with it. And so, they would come out of nowhere. They would come out of everywhere. And when we got the diagnosis of pancreatic cancer, I was fairly certain that the best days ever were probably behind us. And I was wrong. In those 2 years, Deb probably had a dozen more best days ever. And I'm sure some of you were probably a part of, maybe not the very end, but you've been part of those best days ever. And what was really incredible was in the last 2 months of her life, she actually had 3 best days ever. And I know they were best days ever because she actually used that phrase. And the first best day ever of this little series was in March, and we had decided, well, I had decided, she just had to do it, that I was cramming what I didn't know, but I suspected could be our last vacation together, crammed a trip to Yosemite into my spring break. And we had, well, first off, Deb had, anybody who traveled with her, and I know there are several of you, knows she had no idea how to pack for any kind of vacation. And I had let her know it was going to be a little chilly. And she could not conceive that California could ever be cold. And so we get to Yosemite, and we're in the high Sierras in March, and there were snow warnings and all kinds of things. And most of you, well, you may have seen her grumbly side. It didn't come out often, but it came out then. And she was very upset that it was so cold. How could you bring me to California, and why is it cold? And I said, well, I told you we were going to be in the mountains. So we went to the gift shop so she could buy a sweatshirt so she wouldn't freeze to death. And we ended up having just a beautiful day together. She was to the point where she couldn't hike at that point, but so we took the bus tour, we took a driving tour, and it was really a great day. And when we went to dinner that night, she probably had the pork chop. I don't really remember, but that was her go-to. We were sitting there going over the day, and she said, this is the best day ever. And I said, oh, even though it's so cold. She kind of forgot about that. The next best day ever was a couple weeks later, and it was the day of the total eclipse. And if you were lucky enough to experience that, it was a magical day. And I know it was a magical day because Deb kept saying, this is magical, this is magical. And then 20 times she said it was magical, so pretty sure it was magical. And it was really something. So the sun was out, the sun went away, the sun came back, the birds came back, and Deb turned to me, and she had those goofy glasses on, and she had tears in her eyes, and she gave me a kiss, and she said, this really is the best day ever. And I said, yeah, I think that it is. Deb's last best day ever while on this planet was, I don't know, it was a couple weeks after that. These were very close together, and it was about a month before she finally passed. And it was the pancreatic cancer walk. And there are several of you who were there for that. It was a great day. This may come as a shock. Deb was one of the top local fundraisers. And I can prove it because they put her name on the T-shirt of the day. So she raised a lot of money. I don't know how she pulled it all together. And I don't know that this is a fact, but I'm fairly certain we had the biggest walking team. Yes. And we had people obviously from Chicago. We had Lisa from Minnesota. We had people from East Side, West Side. It didn't matter. People were there from all over. And in Pittsburgh, there was even a group, and you're here, a group who did the walk there at the same time. So it was a fantastic day. And like every great event, it had an after party. And we went to lunch afterwards, and it was fantastic. And by the time we were done, it was still early in the afternoon. I don't know, it was probably 2 or 3, and Deb was just wiped out. And so we headed home, and by this point, in where she was, we were taking daily naps. There was no way around it. She just couldn't get through the whole day. So we were walking upstairs to go take another nap, and she turned around on the stairs, and she said, this was the best day ever, wasn't it? And I said, yeah, I think it is. I always said yes. What was I going to say? No. But so even though it was the worst time of her life, no doubt, she still found the best in everything. She found the best in people. She found the best in a moment. And that's what I hope the golfers learn, that even if you're having a really crappy time, and I'm watching my words because this is a Catholic campus, even if you're having a really shitty time, sorry, the real me came out, you can find the best in it. And whether you call her Deb or Debbie or Deborah or Peggy, right now she's smiling and she's so happy to be part of this best day ever. So thank you all.
What about Wooters?
We're going to unballot first, and then he's going to ballot. All right, Julie, incredible job. Incredible job. I'm feeling a little emotional, and I didn't know that.
Yes.
So, in loving memory of Deborah Lynn Solyan, 83, spouse of Julianne F. Turnley, 90, and friend to countless members of the John Carroll community and beyond. Deb galvanized the class of 83 with her infectious laugh and positive spirit. Her loyalty, optimism, and dedication to service endeared her to all. She was a proud recipient of the William M. Bickle SJ Alumni Volunteer Service Award in 2023. As a lifelong golfer, Deb's love for the game was second only to her love for friends and family. Had there been a women's golf team, while she was a student at John Carroll, Deb certainly would have been an enthusiastic member. Through the generous support of her friends, the Deb carries on her legacy and provides an on-campus home for Blue Streak men's and women's golf. May this space be full of optimism and loyalty to one another. And now I'd like to welcome my friend, Brother Matt Wooters from the Society of Jesus to offer a blessing of the facility.
It's clear that Deb has said yes. She said yes to friends. She said yes to life. So to the students, keep that in mind. Say yes. Regardless of how you play, say yes. Say yes to the invitation. So with that, we say yes to this space, this community. God, the source of all joy, we give thanks for this tremendous woman who brought so many people laughter, friendship, and care. May her memory be a blessing. May all those who know her carry on that light. And may this space, the Deb, be a space where we gather, where we say yes, where we gather in laughter and love and joy. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Matt. All right, now it's time to hit the ceremonial first tee balls. So I'd like to welcome up Julia Gullah from the women's golf team. Julia is a freshman. Let's get a load of this stat line real quick. Julia is a freshman who has won individual first place in 4 of her 5 tournament starts for John Carroll. And by the way, the 5th, she finished 2nd in the other one. So, and she's been named the NCAC Athlete of the Week 3 times already. So Julia, come on up. And where's Paul? There he is. Paul Latrenta will be hitting our first tee shot for the men's program. He's a senior and an exemplary example of what a man of Carroll should be. He's also a multiple-time All-OAC academic golfer. So Paul, welcome. I'm going to get out of the way here. And maybe give them a countdown. Do you need a practice swing? Just a quick one, yeah? Loosen up a little. Okay, that'll work. Paul told me he was feeling a little nervous, so I see him taking a little extra time. All right, can you guys help me? Maybe 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. How'd we do? All right, incredible. Yeah, we're gonna check the specs. Yeah, I think those are both perfect. Julia and Paul, thank you so much. All right, we have 2 more things to do here, and then we will conclude. So I'd like to invite Jane back up. Jane, what's your handicap?
2? We go with 2, Doc?
2.
What's 2? 2, just like Doc's. We need a putter.
Jeff's got your putter. He's got the flat cat ready for you. All right, so Jane said she was going to hit a 15-footer, and now it's maybe 2.5 feet. Buried it, Jane. Really good. Jane, do you want to do the toast? Do you want to do a toast?
Sure.
Sorry about that.
Okay, our final thing. So when I first met Julie, and obviously I knew Jane, I knew I would have liked Deb because I was told there was an open bar at every function, right? And so we couldn't bring them, except tonight. Well, we'll get to that. We decided it probably wasn't a good idea to bring a bar up here,
No,
right?
correct,
But we did
correct.
want to bring champagne flutes, and maybe Jane could just offer a short
Sure.
toast to Deb.
Sure. All right, to Deb, to Deborah, may this space and all of you feel the love, the laughter, and a sense of friendship that Deb absolutely exuded every day of her life. And may you all go with great attitude of love, laughter, and joy, which is our Deb. Cheers. Cheers. All right, we did it.
Okay, now to the open bar portion of the proceedings. So we're done here in the facility. You're welcome to hang around. You're welcome to check out the loft. But we will have a cocktail reception downstairs in the new connector wing of our AWE Center. And I believe some of the golf team will be outside to direct you there. We hope you can all join us there. And Julie has asked me to invite everyone to a non-open bar at the Winking Lizard in Bedford Heights. The Winking Lizard in Bedford Heights, the event center there from 6:30 to 9:30. So thanks again for coming, and go Blue Streets. Do you want to keep the ball? Yeah.
I've got a great idea. Get some donor.
You gonna hit a couple shots on him?
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
Oh my gosh.
So good to meet you. Yeah. I'm from Buffalo originally. There's Scanlons here as well that I'm not related to, but I'm an AN, and most Scanlons are SCAN. So my mom says the Owens are the drunken Irishman.